Well, good weekend all. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap up, and this is your weekend edition where we're going to look at weekly charts for December 1st, Friday, 2023. Can you believe it's December? You know, very shortly it's going to be 2024. I remember back when I was in grammar school and I was writing in the 1950s the date. I was thinking about that recently. I remember that book we all had with the black and white hardboard cover and the stenciled paper in there with the blue on it, and you'd write everything. Oh my gosh, and here it is, 2024. I guess I'm lucky to be here. And it's been quite a ride, so I'm not complaining. All right, so quite a ride for gold. $32 higher today. Come on, that's powerful. It got as high as $20.95, so you got a $2,100 market in gold. Come on, powerful. Why? Because it doesn't have a headwind. We removed the strong dollar. If you look at bonds and notes, they just continue to fall in their yield. The high interest rate is behind it, and you still have a degree of sticky inflation. The Fed chair today came out. If you were watching, I wrote about it. He spoke at 10 o'clock at, Spelman College. And he said all the things you would expect him to say. Everybody's too premature that the Fed is ready to cut rates. He's very concerned that the consumer is buying now a massive amount on credit cards. Mr. Chair, this is normal. The helicopter money from COVID has been spent. We are now getting back to a normal time. This is the reason LVMH has been downgraded in many areas. The Chinese aren't buying. We're not buying the goods, the high-priced goods that we were before. That easy money is over. My wife's with Tiffany, and she tells me the stores aren't crowded the way that they were during Christmas for the COVID. Okay? That gives you an idea. That money was coming out and people were spending it. The government was giving it away and people were out there. This is free. This is free. Well, it's not free now. And people have gone through a bunch of their money and things are getting back to normal. But is normal, now let's talk about it, inflation at 9%? No. Is normal inflation at 4%? I doubt it. So is inflation normal, something near 3 or under? I think so. Are we getting close? We are. So interest rates are anticipating that. The dollar's falling because not only does our central bank, do the markets think they'll start dropping rates, they think it on other banks. So it's a question of who's going to do it first. We're expected to be the first. Whether we're the second doesn't matter. We're the biggest economy in the world. Others will go, oh, we're getting this. All bankers are going to say, we got our finger on the trigger. We're going to go. But everyone privately is going, looks like things are going good. How bad of a recession, if we get one, will we get? So far, everybody that's talked about that recession is wrong. This is the year that everybody was wrong everything. I have to tell you. If you go back and you grab your papers from January of last year and the predictions where we would be, the vast amount of people were not right. I don't bother with that, so I couldn't be wrong. I gave up years ago trying to say what the year is going to hold. I have trouble for what next week's going to hold, and now you want me to say, well, a year. Yes, I can talk in a month's frame. Beyond that's very, very difficult, and the Fed tells you that all the time. So in the gold market, yahoo! Here we are back up into the 2071 level on a monthly basis. Here's the important thing. Did it ever this year get back and close underneath the 18-month moving average? Never. It kept the long-term trend bias up. You had waves down, no question about it. But what I teach in my full charting course is you're always looking for that word bias. So off this chart, it stayed up. What about the weekly? No, the weekly came down. You got underneath it. You had waves to the downside in 2023. Not the same. And you just proved on the last break back here a couple of weeks ago that you couldn't get under that 18-week average. And once you cleared this high, Think of the word afterburner. The shorts are going, I have no ammunition left. I read every day interest rates are dropping and the dollar's dropping. Those are the headwinds for gold. And people woke up and realized it. And that's where you're at. You heard me talk on my daily charts. I use the word inverted head and shoulder. Well, take a look here. This could be argued as a shoulder and a shoulder. They don't have to be exact, but that's one. And you've broken out of them. I told you where I thought the market might be headed off of it. And we're doing a pretty good job of getting there. Now, do we have on the immediate chart a trend? You certainly have a market that is zoomed to the upside. You and I are not blind. But to define a trend, normally you want to see higher lows and higher highs. You don't have that pattern. You have a higher high, a deep break low, and suddenly another big move to the upside. You can call that whatever you want. Did the market hold my line in the sand? How many times have you regular viewers heard me say, markets like to fight at the 18, be it the day average or the 18-week. You don't think that happened? And from there, the market decided to take off to the upside. Would I ever tell you or anybody, I would tell my enemies, that they should buy over the Bollinger Band and sell under it. I should say that I would say that. If I didn't like you, I go, what should I do? Oh man, this market's going to the moon. When I believe, you're way out of overdone. Can you run a Bollinger Band for weeks on end? Sure. The most you ever run a Bollinger Band and stay over it in a row is 5. Doesn't mean it can't go more. I'm giving you the norm. Go on your charts and count. Don't rely on me. You will see what I'm saying. Are we overbought? Yes. Are we embedded? No. So I have a market that's up here. It can run further. Should I tell you to join? I can't, okay, because I follow what I teach. The gold-silver ratio. As long as it stays underneath the 18-week, which it is, the current price, silver's stronger than gold. And each time this number falls, you need less ounces of silver to get gold. So while the whole story has been gold, it's not where it's been. The silver market's got its own beautiful story, and it too is over the upper band, overbought. Same thing, same pattern, by the way. It held very nicely when we look back at it, the 200 and the 100-day average, the gray and the green, and came whipping out of that. In the copper market, what the heck happened this week that we're all of a sudden up 3%? What happened today to kick the market is there's a problem in Panama with what the courts are doing to the big open pit mines there of copper. I wrote about it. I'm not going to go through it here, but it's a bullish event. And the market's up there. Do you buy Bollinger Bands? You know what I teach. I'm never going to tell you to buy a Bollinger Band or sell a Bollinger Band bottom or buy a Bollinger Band top. Platinum. I told clients today, I think this market's the next one to pop. Could I be wrong? I could be very wrong. But I do think the market's going to go up and challenge all this right now. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. And in the dollar, I can see getting a bounce back into the 18-day average 200 and the 100, but I don't think you're going anywhere. I think the market's ready to even come further down. It's oversold. Generally, the first challenge of a major, again, I'm going to repeat, 100-week average is a 2-year average. Doesn't just let go. It could, but it generally doesn't. And there you go with the news. So you put it all together. These are my quote pages, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen these. I have pages in my charting that can tell me I can get volume, open interest, I know when to move, and I can also take and create this on all these different categories in my charting software. I use others. They have nothing like we have. Our charting software, in my opinion, because I helped develop it, by the way, is the finest that's out there. I can have this view, I can have this view, and there's other views. All the news, by the way, you can put different news services all through here, Dow, Reuters, name it. You can get them in there. Can't get Bloomberg. They want you to get their own terminal, okay? So you put it together, you come up with game plans, and your game plan this weekend is simple. If you're not a subscriber, do so. Move your cursor to the top here. Do me a favor, give it a try. It's up to you. You can call my staff. They'll work with you Monday. prefer that, you might miss it then because this thing's going to end soon, or go to iraepstein.com under the word research and do it. If you're on my mailing list, I did a mailing this morning. Look in your spam or look in your mailbox. The offer was there in writing. I'm Ira. You have yourselves a great weekend. I'll catch up with everybody Monday morning. Take care.